Check 1, 2, 3. Hey, hey, hey. Try 4B. Hey, 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 you got me? Connected, 1, 2, 3. Yes. All right, we're good to go. Okay. What do you like for monologue sound? Mm-hmm. Okay. We. Okay. We're ready to go. Okay. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll go. We will go. Randall hitting some threes, huh? Okay. Okay. Out of the gate, JT, as we get going, we got talk back at the half. We're opening up the show, and we got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 2 of 13 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3 to start off this game, and Julius Randle, who could never do this with the Knicks. What a game is he's having as the Timberwolves right now lead OKC on the road 48-44. Julius Randle in 17 minutes has 20 points. He's 6 of 8 from the field, and he's 5 of 6 from 3, and he's 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Anthony Edwards in 19 minutes, 13 points, 3 of 7 from the field, and he's 5 of 7 from the free throw line, and it's about the Thunder, who are missing a lot of shots. Hartenstein is probably the best player on the court right now for OKC. He's 5 of 7 from the field for 10 points. Dort, 1 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. But the story during talk back at the half right now is the fact that the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as we are underway in the third quarter, is stinking up the joint. 2 of 13 from the field, and can't get anything going other than his free throws, which is really important. So a lot to get to here. We got a 3-1 hockey game in progress. I'll tell you all about that. Carolina going up against Florida. This is a very big game as we start off this series. Panthers all over the Hurricanes on the road, game 1. Right out, man. Carolina is something here. They're a very good physical team, but the Panthers, it's been all about them with a 3-1 start. Welcome in, JT, live from Las Vegas. You can stream me on YouTube when I'm not on Mad Dog, JT the Brick YT. Get all the content, and we'll get rolling here. Had an unbelievable day today. I played Shadow Creek Golf Course. Maybe on the Mount Rushmore of all-American golf courses anywhere. I got a chance to play that today, Coaches vs. Cancer. Shot a 91 from a great golf course. And I wasn't thrilled, but I was okay. If it was a regular golf course that I was playing, we would have been surfing in the low 80s. But this is Shadow Creek, man. This is one of the greatest golf courses in the world. So I had a great day, living the dream today, and excited to be fresh and ready to go tonight. We got a lot to get to because it's one of my favorite topics in all of sports. They're messing with your sports again. And I am the gatekeeper of sports in my mind around the world. I don't mind evolution. I don't. I'm not a get off my lawn guy. Again, I'm not a get off my lawn guy. Played Shadow Creek today. I saw Stevie Wonder Saturday night. Don't ever tell me I'm a get off my lawn guy. I'm not. But I don't like when they touch my sports. I don't like when they change my rules. I don't like when they change the rules every year. And the NFL right now is out of control. Out of control, and that's the focus of the monologue. I want to hear from fans tonight who are sick and tired of Major League Baseball and the NFL, more so than the NBA. I mean, the NBA is a three-point shooting league that's a bit out of control at times with missed threes, but they're not changing the three-point line. They're not changing the free throw line. Okay, they're not changing anything, the parameters of the court. But when you take a look, even NASCAR a number of years ago changed this to stage racing. It used to be you get in your car, you drive around the track until you have a winner. Now we have stage racing because we need television commercials. We need television commercials, and we have to find a way to sell the sport to younger people. But when it comes to the NFL, I make my living in the NFL. Every year there are rule changes, and there are changes to the sport. And something's good for the Eagles, like the tush push, and they want to change it. They're going crazy with the international games. I like an international game. Don't get me wrong. If I got an opportunity to go to Sao Paulo, Brazil, and somebody else is paying, I'm the first guy on the plane. Most Americans are not going to pay to go to Berlin. They're not going to pay to go to Madrid, and they're not going to pay to go to Brazil to watch one NFL game. And then you take that game and you move it internationally away from the fans who are the season ticket holders and the fans who actually want to go to the game and drive to the game, and you change the sport so much. And then you charge more on television via Amazon and Netflix. This is all happening under your watch. What the hell do you think we're doing in business on SiriusXM, Channel 82, to not debate this and not to get fans who have an opinion on this and how they're screwing with your sports year in and year out? In baseball, we got 3 wild card teams. Are you kidding me? 3 wild card teams instead of 1? And they continue to take away the game from us. They changed the kickoff in football. They're taking the foot out of football. Eventually, they're not even going to allow punts. I made that prediction years ago. They're not even going to allow punts. They're just going to move the ball. They're going to just move the ball downfield and let you start again at a certain yard line. The kickoff is an embarrassment. It's a ripoff of the XFL. It doesn't work. No one liked it. There were no big plays last year. But what did they want to do? They wanted to take the violence out of tackling, so someone can't tackle someone with a 30-yard head start. They have to tackle each other with a 5-yard head start as everybody's crowded into a phone booth. And now we find out today, I'm okay with flag football. I'm all right with flag football. But one guy from every team can play. That's it. Like, what is this? And that's what I wanted to get into as we open up the show. The number is 888 Mad Dog 6. The topic is very simple. I got 2 games going on in progress. The people who are not listening to me are into those games. I got to focus you on listening to me and calling me and tweeting at me, because this is my life. Okay, so if you're watching a game, I get it. But if you're listening, I'd like you to participate. When do you want this to stop? I'm asking you specifically, in your car, on your app, whatever you're doing, in the backyard, having a backyard beverage. When do you want them to just stop and leave it alone? So today, Roger Goodell made the announcement. He told us all about flag football going forward. Here's the commissioner who wants flag football desperately, not so much in the Olympics, but he wants young kids around the world to play this sport so they'll watch the NFL going forward.
This represents a great opportunity for the sport, for the NFL. It's truly the next step in making NFL football and football a global sport.
Okay, so what happened today? That's what my job is, to tell you what happened and move it forward. Today was basically the NFL marketing football to people who don't play football. That's it. That's the story. I put it in a bow. Steal it from me. Run with it tomorrow on the morning shows, and don't give me credit. That's all they did today, was a marketing scheme to get people to play flag football at an alarming rate and not to play tackle football, because children today, and the moms and dads who are listening to me will back me up on this, children today are being told not to play tackle football at a very young age because they might get injured. You all agree with this, right? This is exactly what's happening. You dive into politics every day. You dive into the stock market, the economy. You try to put food on the table. You hope gas prices come down. Let me explain this to you again very simply. Today was a day where Roger Goodell wants people around the world to play flag football and for their families to watch flag football, so they'll eventually buy tickets to international football games in Europe. There it is. That's the best synopsis you'll hear on this. This is how Roger Goodell further wants to grow the game. Because again, he's made the big push internationally to Madrid, to Dublin, to Berlin, to Brazil, to do all that, Mexico City in years past. And what they're trying to do is to say, hey, let's unearth every rock. Let's turn over every stone and get more and more people to watch the sport. So I'm good with that. I hope. This is Justin Jefferson. He's one of the best players in the league, the wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. He's dreaming of winning a gold medal because he's not going to be able to do it in track and field. He's not going to run the marathon at the Olympics. The only way Justin Jefferson can get an Olympic gold medal like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony is to play flag football. So he's going to embrace this idea.
Sport, seeing the women and men being involved, and seeing it now being on a global stage. We're going more globally. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and just seeing all of the different countries being involved, and seeing athletes like BA coming to America to play their sport, and it's just so many different athletes all around this league that we have.
All right, so that's really the topic of the show tonight. They tried to shove flag football down your throat today. I'm okay with it. I'm just trying to get people to engage me on this topic because I don't know what you think. I can't read your mind. Are you good with this? Do you feel like it's a marketing scheme by the NFL to get more money out of you? Because, again, I make my living in the NFL, and the NFL has to grow. And they need to grow, and they need to expand, and they have to evolve. So today they're taking away a play. They're going to try to take away a play tomorrow called the tush push that the Philadelphia Eagles run to perfection because the Green Bay Packers don't like it, because the Green Bay Packers are soft and gutless, because they can't beat the Eagles. How about that? They can't beat the Eagles, the Green Bay Packers. So the only advantage Green Bay could get is take away one of the better plays that the Philadelphia Eagles run. So we're taking away the violence of the tush push most likely tomorrow, and we're entering the realm of flag football. Now, I will tell you this about flag football from knowing a little bit about it. It's really big in Vegas here. We got unbelievable flag football, and there's a lot of tournaments out here, and a lot of people play out there. Flag football players who do this at the professional level, at the highest level, are better than NFL players at flag football. No, you heard that correctly. Okay, that these flag football professionals that play that game differently, because it's not the NFL, are really elite. And they're better than some of the NFL players. And then it comes down to injuries. I want to know what you fans think tonight about the potential for injuries, hopefully nothing catastrophic. That happened to Patriots Robert Edwards playing in the sand at the beach at the Pro Bowl here. But, can guys get hurt? Yeah, guys can get hurt. They can pull hamstrings. They could break their kneecaps. They can tear their MCLs playing flag football, cutting. And another big topic tonight is, do you want your star NFL player playing in the Olympics flag football? This isn't golf, man. This isn't Ricky Fowler getting an Olympic tattoo on his forearm and Ricky Fowler playing golf. Okay, this is football. It's flag football. You can get injured, and it's called a non-contact injury. It's not tackle football, but you can make a cut or a juke and blow out your knee. And how do you think the Dolphins would feel about that if Tyreek Hill did that? How would you think they'd feel about this if Joe Burrow stepped into a pass and something happened with his elbow and he wasn't able to play for the Cincinnati Bengals? I need to hear from people tonight on this because the NFL slid it in, and the NFL is doing this for a reason. Do you believe that you are being asked to do something, again, as a football fan, that you just don't want to do? You just don't want to hear anything more about expansion. You don't want your favorite player playing in the Olympics. Maybe you do. 888-623-3646. Do me a favor. Expand this topic. What do you think is the reason Roger Goodell's really doing this? Because I like Roger Goodell. I've had a beer with him. I think he's a really good commissioner. He's going to get a Hall of Fame jacket because of everything he's done with expansion, European expansion and global expansion, and everything he's done with money when it comes to streaming and new stadiums. He is an absolute lock for a gold jacket in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's already in. He doesn't know yet. But this is another move by the league that I'm not suspicious about, but it's leading to something that's going to take your eye off the ball. And we got a lot of sharp listeners here on Mad Dog, so let me know what you think there. Minnesota 60, OKC 58, 6:12 to go. Florida Panthers 3, Carolina 1, 17 minutes to go in the third period. So there's a lot of other NFL news to get to. I'll get to all that here in the show. George Sedano will join us. He's doing the sidelines for ESPN Radio. He's going to join us following the game tonight, so we'll dive in with him on the outcome here. If Minnesota can steal one on the road, or if OKC can keep their home court advantage. And then my Knicks. This is the last time you'll hear me this week on this platform. That's why I'm on YouTube, so you can hear me on the Knicks whenever you want. And my Knicks are in 6. I alienated some people today because I said something they couldn't understand, and they called me stupid. I'm not stupid. I got a degree from Geneseo State University. I also studied how to tap a keg. I also played rugby, and I was the president of my fraternity. I am not a stupid man. But I alienated a lot of people when I said anybody who takes a series in 7 games, if you say Knicks in 7 or Pacers in 7, you have no opinion. Picking a 7-game series to go 7 games means you don't have the balls to pick the winner. You're taking the easy way out. You're saying, I don't know who's going to win, JT, so I'll take the Knicks in 7. You don't know what's going to happen in game 7. You have no idea. If you really like a team to win, you'll pick them in 6. I've been doing it my whole life. I think it's gutless to say the Dodgers in 7. Why would you say Dodgers in 7? The Dodgers are good enough to win in a sweep in 4. And I don't understand how people say 7. So I'm going Knicks in 6. I'm going OKC in 6. If it goes 7 games, okay. But don't act like you're Nostradamus and you're picking 7 games. You don't know who you want if you're picking 7. I'm going hard on my Knickerbockers. I believe my Knicks are going to win the NBA title now because I like the road. The road to me looks much easier, and I like that. I like this road now, which is very unpredictable. Mike Greenberg said it earlier today on ESPN that now we got the Final Four of the NBA. It is wide open, more so than ever.
Super team in the NBA is totally and officially over, and to me, this is cause for celebration. To explain, let's start with the past. In the 1980s, the Celtics and Lakers combined to win 8 championships in a 9-year stretch in which at least one of them was in the finals every single year. And came the 90s. You already know Michael Jordan's Bulls won 6 championships in an 8-year stretch, so you figured when he hung them up, parity would finally set in, but not at all. In the ensuing 24 years, the Lakers won 6 titles, the Spurs 5, the Warriors 4, and the Heat 3. That's 13% of the teams winning 75% of the championships in a 30-team league. Frankly, there was The Thunder last won the championship when they were the Seattle Supersonics in 1979. As for the Knicks and the Pacers, in 1973, they were the champs of the NBA and ABA, respectively, and neither has won anything since. This has become a theme in the NBA, and it's a great one, because among the last 6 winners were the Nuggets and the Raptors for the first time each, and the Bucks for the first time in half a century.
So this is critical for me for the Knicks to win. The Knicks haven't won since 73. 1973. I was an 8-plus-year-old boy, and that's how long it's been. And I quite frankly don't remember, because I've done too many radio shows since, and I don't remember that far back. I don't remember, because my dad went to those games. I don't remember him coming home and saying we won. So when it comes to all of this, I think it's interesting. Is this parity? Yeah, there's maybe a little bit of parity, but I think the NBA has been in trouble with the missed 3-pointers, and now we're going to see the physicality. We're seeing a physical game tonight, and maybe we'll see more physical games the rest of the way. Justin in Kentucky, start us off, be my leadoff hitter tonight on Mad Dog Sports Radio on the importance of flag football. Go ahead.
Been a head coach, been a high school level, head coach, D coordinator, 21 years plus. And I'm a guy that loves this old school, beat your head into the ground football. And what's happening, I'm in Southern Kentucky, and I've been fortunate to be a part of a couple state championship teams. And slowly but surely during the late 90s up to early 2000s, baseball, really summer baseball, started rolling the roost everywhere. And it became hard for us to keep our kids engaged in football. And flag football has reset the conversation at the youth level, at the high school level. So we have kids that, they play for us in the fall, but during summertime before we get at camp, they're playing on, it's functionally AAU type flag football teams, and it's just another chance for them to perform. And it's very popular. These kids are generally well coached, and it's getting more interest in the game. So for those parents that are reticent for the kids to bang their heads when they're early, I've got guys that I coached that have their kids playing 8, 10, 11-year-olds playing flag football, and when they get to middle school age, somewhere around that range, then we'll let them start hitting people. And it's actually expanding the game in a lot of ways. And, I hate coaching it. It's not fun. It's not football to me, but the same notion, anything that engages our kids is worth investing in. I don't think it's a ploy. I think it's a recognition that that's how we grow the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I agree with you. It casts a much wider net because a lot of kids aren't talented enough, thanks for the call, to play tackle football. They're not big enough. They're not strong enough. They're just going to get overrun playing tackle football. If I had to choose between putting my kids into flag football or tackle football, I would choose tackle football. I think that it could be taught safely. Tackling is correct. I like the physicality of it. And I'm not an anti-flag football guy. But in life, you got to make a decision. So you can say, okay, we can play both. Yeah, you can play both. But if you're going to play at LSU, you can play a little flag football, but eventually you're going to have to move over to tackle football. You're going to have to learn what it's like to put on a helmet and pads at 10 years old and tackle someone. But now I've evolved on that because I've talked to people who said, no, I'm not going to play football, tackle football till I'm 13 years old. Okay, if you do that, the only point I want to make here in the monologue, if you don't start playing tackle at 13 years old, you are not going to make it to a college football team at 17 years old. The numbers are so difficult just to play high school football, let alone make it to D1 college and forget about making it to the NFL. If you hold your kids back from playing tackle football till they're 13 or 14 years old, that's cool. That's your prerogative. But they're not going to probably make their high school football team, and they're definitely not going to make their college team. You want to talk about a lottery ticket. You tell me all the kids who didn't touch a football till the age of 13 or 14 and then played D1 football. I'm sure there's a few. It's called an outlier statistic. Like that woman who's 95 years old and smokes 3 packs of Marlboro Red. She's out there, but it's a very small statistic. Tackle football, moms and dads are afraid because of what they see in the NFL and what they're reading about. I don't go through life afraid. I say let your kids tackle each other and play football and let them grow as young boys. For girls, if you don't want your kids playing, if you're girls, you don't want to play in tackle, which they might have the right to do, flag football is fantastic. I just want the kids to have fun. But, I'm trying to tie this into the NFL and college football. And good luck playing flag football thinking you're just going to roll onto the campus at Notre Dame or Boise State or Wisconsin and you've never been tackled till you're 14 years old. You tell me who does that. I'll tell you that is a small, tiny percentage of people that are playing football at the next level. 888-623-3646. OKC 66, Minnesota 60, Florida 4, Carolina 1. Looks like Florida is going to blow out Carolina on the road in the Eastern Conference Finals here. JT from Vegas, real busy show tonight. Look forward to hearing from you. You're listening to Mad Dog. Yes. Tried a little new stream for our audience tonight. I appreciate our streamers there. I don't know why I don't see a chat or anything like that, but I'm trying something new. So I appreciate the people that are coming here tonight. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody out there. Thank you. This was an experiment tonight. Just wanted to see what it looked like. Thanks to my son in the other room who is helping me out building JT the Brick YT. Thanks, everybody.